people be like, you believe Hebrew Israelites is a cult? And I do. Because it is a cult. It's a religious cult, period. There's no evidence descendants of the transatlantic slave trade are related to the Israelites of the Bible. So what Hebrew Israelites try to do is use Deuteronomy 28 as a DNA test. I don't know who this is for, but Deuteronomy 28 is not a prophecy. But let's say it was a prophecy. Y'all still don't fulfill all these prophecies. Deuteronomy 28:52 says,
they will besiege you within all your gates until your high and fortified walls that you trust in come down throughout your land.
What walls were besieged? 28:68 says,
the Lord will take you back in ships to Egypt by a route that I said you would never see again. There you will sell yourselves to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one will buy you.
Last time I checked, African slaves weren't selling themselves. Folks were selling them. And people bought them. And when did we go back to Egypt? Because I got questions. Most Hebrew Israelites will tell you we was on literal ships, but we went back to metaphorical Egypt to be literally sold again. It don't make sense.
In northern Israel, a Catholic parade thanks God for protecting the image of Virgin Mary. Today, it's these Christians who feel they need protection.
These extremists, whether Muslim, whether Jews, is raising more and more.
We are afraid because there was an escalation, very dangerous escalation.
That escalation is of hate crimes against Christians in Israel. In this Jerusalem church, the words "Jesus is garbage" was scrawled on the side wall. At the Vatican's Jerusalem headquarters, recent graffiti threatened death to Arabs and Christians and all those who hate Israel. The church believes the perpetrators are ultra-nationalist Orthodox Jews. Outside its tomb and the Last Supper room, they protest a rumor the building will be handed over to the Vatican.
If someone will give up 1 inch from that tomb, they'll start a war between Jews and Christians. God forgive us.
Israeli police must protect everyone equally, and they say they're trying to protect Christians.
Action has been taken in the past by police operations as well as undercover operations, not just the Israeli National Police, but also secret security services who have also been involved. That's how seriously we're taking and dealing with those incidents.
But the church believes this isn't only about police. The Holy Land's top Catholic official says some Israeli schools teach hate. Some Israeli politicians preach exclusion. As the Pope arrives, some Christians living in what they consider the holiest place on earth say they feel neither welcome nor protected.
All the praises and the honor goes to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha HaQudash, and double honors to the elder apostles and even the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you other brethren, you fellow believers and followers of this faith. Also shalom to you few sisters as well, you sincere ones. And shalom to the hopefully elect, shalom to the elect. I don't think I'm going to go back and forth about what this woman is saying. I just put that clip in there just to prove the point of false Christianity, hypocrisy, right, and their lack of understanding, okay? They never knew what Deuteronomy 28 was when they was going to church until we brought it out, right? That was definitely a verse ignored, a chapter and book ignored. So that was an ignored book, right? I've been to church many years as a young man, and we've never even went into that book or the stories. But anyway, some of the stories, but not that book. But anyway, this woman do say that, what about Deuteronomy 28 and 52? Well, these are prophecies, right, that was spoken of that would happen going back to the time that it was written. The first 5 books, the book of Moses, of the Most High, really, that was written, that was going to tell you in dispensation of time of what was going to happen to the Israelites. So obviously, if we was on those ships, we would have been back there in 70 AD too. And why did they flee down into Africa and Europe and various other places? We're not going to go back and forth about that, but we will do. I want to touch more so on the hypocrisy of the Christian church. You got these Christians who are now going over, right, into the Holy Land, right? Unannounced, uninvited, and having nothing but hate spewed all upon them, so they say. But you don't see a barrage of videos going out all over the internet about those people who they claim to be the true people of God as a people of hate. They don't see that. You don't see that. You probably won't see that. This proves that we are the true biblical Israelites, right? This proves that who we really are, because they will muzzle you for talking about that situation. But when it comes to us, they put us against one another, right? This is why you see camp against camp, right? Which is the Lord's doing. We will fight. Our thing is not because we hate these other camps, but it's in doctrine, right? Even in sports, even in music, it's always us against one another because we're competitive people. But when it comes to Edom and other nations, you don't see them being compared to one another. This is why this Eve, and I believe definitely an Eve, has sat up there and came to that same sick psychology of helping put us against one another, right? Or us against the scriptures. And that's what they're doing, right? So that was the point made. You will never see her lover in the faith, let me say that, Vocab Malone. You will never see them do videos on the hate. Now, Vocab may do a video and speak on it, but will he call them a hate group? I doubt it. And they'll only do a video because a video like this is going out. We've been bringing up videos like this. So they'll do a video of what's going on over in the land. But now these people say they hate you. They call Jesus garbage, which thankfully we don't believe in white, sweet Jesus either. And then this is another sick form of psychology, right? Where they have that white Virgin Mary and that white little baby sitting on the Virgin Mary's, so-called Virgin Mary's lap. When we all know the Virgin Mary was a so-called black woman, which virgin is a young woman as well. And the baby, which would have been Yahushua, was so-called black. But whatever reason they promote this womanhood of this mindset of the Mother Earth, right? And the Son, right? As a baby, right? They're not even promoting him as a man. Showing the woman being in leadership. See, this is the sickness and the mental psychology of what has happened to us. So this is exactly why Christianity is damaging, right? Now this woman, she's not going to have a problem with white Virgin Mary and the white little baby Jesus. But they all tend to have problems when we say they were both black, so-called black, right? And you would see, and what happened to Joseph? They just completely wiped Joseph out of there. Anyway, although Yahushua walked with Joseph, his father. And in the book of Luke, the 3rd chapter, it mentions Joseph lineage too. This is sick, man. Now, Proverbs 17 and 17, I'm going to go into Berean Standard Bible. Acquitting the guilty and condemning the righteous, both are detestable to the Lord. So all this hatred that's going on, and then you go over there, you Christians go over there, right? And then you get all in the mix up, thinking you're going to wake them up. But Yahushua, the one you call Jesus, said, if they do not receive you, wipe the dust off your feet, right? And leave. But you know what you keep doing? You keep trying to force the issue because in your mind you believe that they're the people. He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. Right? Proverbs 24 and 24. He that saith unto the wicked, thou art righteous, him shall the people curse. Nations shall abhor him. Right? And this is why they're going over there, just like this Christian woman, you know, have all these beliefs that they are the people that are righteous. Well, First Chronicles, let me get that real quick. I didn't have that. But let me get that real quick. This is also in the book of Kings, I believe, as well. But let me go to first, I think it's 17. First Chronicles 17, and let me try 9 if I'm not mistaken. It says, also I will ordain a place for my people, Israel, and will plant them, and they shall dwell in their place. Because you read Chronicles, you'll see it in other books. And shall be moved no more. Right? Neither shall the children of wickedness waste them anymore, as at the beginning. So you got to understand, she's talking about Deuteronomy. Chronicles goes into time, right? So you have different parts of time. The day of the Lord is 1,000 years. And the Lord said, this was going to happen, that was going to happen, this is the future thing that's going to happen. And again, as I said before, everybody's so-called hell, right? Everybody's so-called hell, 9/11, the holler thing, all that is all acceptable, and they can relate that to some form of religion or belief or or their nationality. But when it comes to us, we're the only ones that you can't equate something that's hardship as that as a hand of the Lord, because the Lord is the one. In the book of Amos, I believe it was in Acts, have a trumpet been blown in the city and the Lord has not done it, right? 1 Samuel 2 and 6, the prayers of Hannah, it says the Lord lift up and the Lord bringeth down. So anything like this that happened, all slaveries, anything that happens is of the Lord. And when you read the scriptures, it's talking about the Lord's anger. So you're going to tell me the Lord's anger, this thing that happened to us, wasn't an anger hand of the Lord? If we were heathens, it would be a different ball game, because the Lord was angry with his children, right? See, all this World War III and all these things is about to go down, right? This is all going down because what you did to the children of Israel. We can see this also in Joel, right? Let me go back to First Chronicles. It says, also I will ordain a place for my people Israel and will plant them, and they shall dwell in their place and shall be moved no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness waste them any more, as at the beginning. So you mean to tell me they planted themselves there and had people put them there? They claim the Lord did it, but what were they called before the time they were there? And now that they're there, the children of wickedness is still wasting them according to their doctrine. Let's go to Joel real quick. And let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Let's see what's happening here. So the Lord is using the trick bag on them. They thinking it's them. I will gather all nations and will bring them down in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh's judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Well, wait a minute. Who scattered them among the nations? If these are people of God, now the question is, who scattered them amongst the nations? And since they were supposed to be scattered amongst the nations, why are they considering themselves a nation and in one place? These are all questions, but nobody's going to answer that. But Deuteronomy 28 and 64, the same book she read, says the children of Israel will be scattered from one end of the earth even into the other. So wait a minute. If the children of Israel was all scattered amongst the earth and following other nations and looking like other nations, why hasn't all the children of Israel gone there yet? Right? And if that's the case, shouldn't we be involved too? We know a lot. They say, well, we believe some came on the transatlantic slave trade. Come on, man. Who did you see on them ships? And what did they look like? And since they look like us, you would have to know that the majority of them who was speaking a form of Hebrew dialect mixed with other dialects, some of them jakes were speaking 10 languages, man. Come on, man. It's sickness, man. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good, right? This is what they're saying. If they're saying that it doesn't fit us, you know what they're saying? It's them. But this is why I put the clip in there. So if it's them, why are they kicking them away? So aren't they the hate group? I don't know. They're the only ones allowed to do that, not us, right? And we don't kick nobody out. We don't push nobody off. We're not doing any of those things. Now, age of provocateurs will be set up to spray buildings and say it was all us, but we can't kick nobody out of nowhere, right? Anyway, I don't believe some of them, most of them know, but some of them don't know that all that was stolen anyway. Woe to them that call good evil, that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Self-explanatory. You call all the wickedness that is done in the world good, but then you pronounce us as evil and hateful. Now they're saying, you can't be a part of us. You can't be a part of this. You don't come in here. We're kicking your ass out. I don't want you around us. But when we say, just on the internet, this is who the Lord chose. That's it. Now there's a problem. See, that's crazy. That's the psychology, man, how people are messed up. Matthew 7:1, judge not lest ye be judged, that ye not be judged. Right? So you can't go around judging wrongfully and then all of a sudden don't expect you to be judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure you mete, it shall be measured to you again. This is why we go to Jeremiah 4th chapter on his eve, around the 30th verse. See, your lovers will despise you in that last day. This is not going to go but so long. You know? Christianity, all this time, the Christians, all this time, nobody told me, hey, white Jesus, it doesn't matter what color he is. Until we put the image up of the black one. Now all of a sudden it matters. Again, it's all pure sickness, man. All pure sickness. 1 Corinthians 11, and I'm going to try 28. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of the bread and drink of that cup. Right? For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. Right? Now, according to the Christians, they believe they're part of the Lord's body. All you got to do is believe. Throw out the laws. I told you, the ones that benefit in throwing out the laws is the woman. I don't know why a lot of you jakes don't understand that. Right? Because that matches the counterbalance to the society we're in. So they could just say, the clause, I don't want to be married, I want to move on with my life. I'm my own independent. I can do this. I can do what I want. Right? All you got to do, and then the catch to it is all you got to do is believe in Jesus the Christ. Yeah, right. So when you go back to 28, it says, but let every man examine himself. The Christians won't examine themselves. They won't say, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? We did get on the so-called black Hebrew Israelites, which were just Hebrew Israelites. We called them a hate group because they said only a certain people can make it and the other ones would be slaves. But yet, we float over here and we see all through the internet and the media that the same people that they speak against are doing the exact so-called thing, but worse. Right? They're playing it out. They're writing it all over everything. They're telling them to go home. They're beating them. They're throwing sticks and stones at him. They're spitting on him. Yeah, that's also called assault. But you don't see Vocab. You don't see David Wood. You don't see any of these guys. This woman, whoever she is, this, the heck, forget her. But you don't see any of these people, what's the other one? It's quite a few of those street apologists that just pops up out of nowhere. You will never see them do videos on that. No K-dub, no Vocab. And the Babylonian, Sham Shamoon, those weirdos. The G-Man. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.